Last week, we talked about the short-term reasons behind the ringgit's recent strength. Now, let's talk about the ringgit's long-term structural trend. A long-term currency trend reveals the health of an economy. A steadily appreciating currency signals rising productivity, strong institutions, and fiscal credibility, which in turn attracts long-term capital, supports higher skilled jobs, and lifts living standards. A long-term decline, however, does the opposite. It acts like a silent tax, raising import prices, eroding purchasing power, and discouraging investment. Firms hesitate to commit to long-term projects if they expect a weaker currency. So, what does the data say about the ringgit's long-term path? In the last 45 years, the periods that the ringgit strengthened the most in the 1970s and from 2005 to 2011 correspond with commodity booms from Malaysia's main exports. But outside of commodities, Malaysia hasn't generated the kind of productivity or industrial depth needed for currency strength in the ringgit. Productivity growth has consistently lagged the US, and shocks like the Asian financial crisis and later 1MDB pushed the ringgit onto even weaker structural paths. Now let's look toward the medium term, where fundamentals meet expectations, which is where policy direction matters. Enter the Gear Up initiative. 120 billion ringgit of domestic investments by GLCs and GLICs from 2024 to 2028. To do this, they will sell foreign assets and buy ringgit, giving the currency a temporary lift. A short-lived ringgit boost may ease inflation, but once priced in, it risks hurting exporters, flooding the country with imports, and a loss of industrial competitiveness. And a deeper structural issue remains. GLCs underperform the private sector in ROE and EBIT margins, despite preferential treatment. And the shift only makes sense if domestic investments can outperform their foreign investments. But unfortunately, in the case of EPF, that hasn't been the case since 2011. The real long-term driver is productivity. Harnessing it through higher value sectors, genuine reform, and a shift away from industrial strategies that haven't delivered will be the only way to turn the ringgit's secular decline around. For a deeper analysis on the ringgit, read Tong's portfolio. Only in The Edge.